Hello all, Pitbike Mike. So, today we finally have the weather cooperating slightly. You know, make it a little bit less of a miserable day for me to, get out here and actually do some riding. So, I actually have an interesting topic of discussion. Oh, it's not interesting, but it's something, right? So, since buying the Harley, I've done about 300 miles on it, and that's been kind of like my primary bike that I've been using just to kind of get used to it, scraping the floorboards repeatedly and almost ending myself because, I try to lean in too much and I'm just scraping floorboard and scaring myself to oblivion. But either way, I digress. So took the Z900 out, yesterday. It felt so weird being on that after riding the Harley for a while. Because it's weird, right? I've ridden this and the Z, back to back, all that other good stuff. Never really felt weird, right? But yet, after riding the Harley for a little bit and switching to these, it is so weird. I'm not sure if it's, well, for one, obviously when you get onto these bikes, the transmissions are so butter, just so butter compared to a Harley. But either way, I guess it's different because with the Harley, you're sitting so low and it's like you're sitting in the bike. Whereas this, I'm sitting on top of the bike, which, this isn't too bad compared to the Harley. But when I rode the Z900, wow. I got on, I'm leaning forward and I'm like, why can't I see over the front of my bike? I'm like, this is weird. I don't remember feeling like this when I've ridden this bike before. So it was kind of weird. And then because of trying to lean in, I was hesitant to lean in because, I've been scraping floorboards so much recently that, I kind of was hesitating to just go full lean. And obviously, I'm just like, man, this thing's really messed me up. I really didn't expect, riding a Harley like this to mess up my mojo with my other bikes. Because it just, I don't know. It's weird, right? Because I thought, because I'm so used to jumping between bike to bike to bike that it wouldn't cause me any, downside. But there definitely is a downside. Who knows? Maybe I'll have to talk to other people that have Harleys but still also have sport bikes or sportier style bikes, and to see if that's a common thing, if you get past it. Who knows? Or I just keep on riding and eventually I'll figure it out myself, or I don't know. And I guess we'll talk a little bit about, so in the 300 miles that I've been riding this Harley so far, which pretty much it's I've already ridden it half of what it's been ridden in 6 years, being in 2017 with 650 miles, I'm already about to hit I'm 9 something. So, I've been putting them miles on it, which to a Harley guy, 300 miles, that's just getting started, right? Supposedly. But I digress. As you all know, I complain about the numbness of my hand and stuff like that. Gotta say, I haven't really had that with the Harley. It's kind of yeah, I haven't really had that with the Harley. You know, I haven't had the fatigue in my hand, which was causing numbness and all that other stuff. Because, you know, because there's really no weight on your hands. You're, you know, nice, comfortable, just kind of like arms up type of deal. Obviously not the 8 hangers, because I don't know how people do that, but either way. So, I gotta say, I'm really surprised that I'm not really having any type of fatigue, you know? It makes me happy, to be honest, because, like, you know, this bike, I don't really get too much fatigue because I'm also not really putting much weight on my wrist. So, the reason I'm saying this is because when I took the Z900 out the other day, you know, what, 20-minute ride? Towards the end of the 20 minutes, I already started feeling, you know, the fatigue in my wrist, which I'm like, man, I haven't felt this in a while since riding this Harley. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, that's kind of disappointing. But I'll admit, besides for the slight discomfort of my wrist, it's totally different, like, going fast again, you know, because when you're on a Harley and pretty much like, you know, 75 is your kind of max speed, it's, you know, when then you get on the, like, the Z900, next thing you know, your disregard for the law becomes quite extensive. But yeah. And, like, you know, the biggest thing that I've talked about even when I first introduced the Harley to the channel is the smoothness. Like, even though this is a single cylinder thumper, which I guess you can't really call it a thumper, it's a 230, but either way, like, and even the Z, they're just so butter smooth in everything they do. Like even running, like, yes, it has a little bit of vibration, but it's just revving up, it's just so smooth. Where the Harley, you know, you're riding a Harley, everything's shaking you to death, you know, which a little over exaggeration, you know, because the 103B that I have on that thing, so it's got like an internal counterbalancer, which helps smooth it out. Gotta say, it doesn't shake as bad as, you know, you would really expect a Harley to shake. I guess that was more like the old school thing. The old school Harleys would shake, you know, shake like hell and all that good stuff, but but yes, this thing is just so fun. You know, I'm glad to say that even though I bought a Harley and it kind of messed up how I feel about my Z, I'm so glad it doesn't mess up how I feel about this KLX. This KLX just, yeah, this thing is a staple in my fleet. I don't think this thing will ever go anywhere. Oh yeah. And the gear shifts are so smooth, like, you don't feel like anything after riding a Harley, and you're having, like, when you're shifting on a Harley, you feel the clunk and all that other shit. But when you get onto this, it's just so, like, smooth, like, it's just like, boop, boop. Like, it almost feels, after riding a Harley, that this thing, like, the air pressure would be able to shift it just from the wind, like the air hitting the shifter mechanism, pushing it up, you know, it'd just be, I don't know, kind of crazy, right? I don't know. But, you know, a little bit of excitement. Little bit of excitement. Let's see, what else is interesting? Took the windshield off the Harley the other day, you know, to take it for a ride to try it without the windshield, because, I don't know if it's a, this sounds weird, right? Because, you know, me, I always talk about being short. But yet, the windshield on the Harley, I think I'm too tall for that windshield, because what it does is, the way the air comes up, it hits like the top part of like the visor into the head, and it causes the helmet to like shake around. And you know, I'll admit it's not very comfortable having your head scrambled, you know. Not that I have a whole lot of brain up there to begin with, it doesn't help being scrambled. But so took the windshield off and took it for a ride. Wow, huge difference. As soon as taking that windshield off, the air is hitting me like I'm used to, you know, being on all my you know, my bikes. And I gotta say, I was like, you know, maybe during the summer I probably just won't have a windshield on there at all. Just ride, no windshield, the whole nine. Because here's the thing, as I've thought about maybe if I would like, oh well, maybe if I get a bigger windshield, you know, and that's like I think that like the next size up or something like that, which I don't know what the standard height is on it. It might be 18 inches. I don't really know. I don't know how they get their measurements. I haven't like looked hard enough to get that type of information, but I did look kind of like briefly, and supposedly you could buy from Harley for like almost $500 a 21-inch tall like windshield, which 3 inches, you know, to some people 3 extra inches is, you know, need I say more? Man, it feels so good to be back on this bike. Like, the ride feel is totally different from the Harley, but oh man, this thing just, so much fun. So much fun. I'm definitely glad that I pulled it out this morning to ride, and that I just didn't go back to the Harley. Oh, yes. Oh, yep. So, windshield, riding differences, stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. You know, obviously, as the people that watch this channel, and pretty much just people that watch videos like mine, they understand it's getting to that time of year to where the weather isn't going to cooperate very well. And like, yes, I plan on riding as much as I can even during the winter months. You know, obviously we all have our, you know, threshold that we're like, alright, once it gets below this, it's not worth it, you know. Or it's just like, you know, the time that it takes for me to get bundled up and then go where I need to go to then get unbundled up, it's just, sometimes it doesn't make sense, unfortunately. So, like I was saying, obviously you're seeing that I'm putting out less and less videos, you know, consistently. Some of it's been a little bit of my laziness. Yes, I know, I'm lazy, I'm slothful. It's a tragic thing. But a lot of it also is the weather. The weather's been brutal. Like for some reason we get 2 random nice days and then like the temperature plummets by like 20, 30 something degrees, and then you're like, oh my lord, like, but I digress. But so yeah, as things progress and I'm able to get out, ride, and do random things, you know, I'll obviously bring you all along. Now, if you made it to this far in the channel, or not channel, but video, this far in the video, I'll admit, I've been thinking about doing something crazy. I've been thinking about learning the tune. And what I mean by that is that with my Harley, it came with like the Street Tuner Pro or whatnot. I've been contemplating downloading the software onto my computer so I can learn how to like maybe tune the Harley myself. So like if I add things or change things, I can update the tune. I don't really know. I've been thinking about it. Might be interesting. I don't really know yet. So, who knows? Maybe as it sits on my mind a little bit more, I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Well, I guess that kind of completes my ramblings for this morning. So, yeah, I hope y'all like, subscribe. Pit Bike Mike is